Hey everyone, it's Lisa Cash Hansen here, author of Get Famous, the most amazing mom bloggers resource on the planet, and founder of Mompreneur Mogul, where we're teaching you how to be powerful in business and confident in life. So, you know that we have these weekly questions. If you don't know that already, we do. Every Wednesday I have this video with some cool weekly questions from our readers. And I think it's really been wonderful because there's a lot of wonderful tips coming across. You guys have some great questions, so keep them coming. Also, at the end of today's video, I'm going to ask you for something really special. If you don't mind doing this for me, I am about to launch my first online video course, and I'm really excited about it. But before I finish designing all of it, I really want to speak with you and find out what it is that's affecting you in business, with blogging. What are your hopes and dreams? What is it that you are trying to accomplish? What might be standing in your way, and what would be useful to you? Now, I already have an idea of what this course is going to look like, but it's always great to hear from you. So any tips, comments, questions, or suggestions that you have, please include them in the comments below, or you can email them to me at lisa@mompreneurmogul.com and let me know exactly what would be helpful to you in a course. All right? So thanks for sharing that, and now let's get into today's question. Today's question actually comes from Kelly at SavvySuburban.com, and we love Kelly. She's an active contributor and just a great blog, so go visit her. But Kelly had a question that's totally common for any woman in business generally, and what she wanted to know is, she said, look, you know, I've got a family, a husband, sons, active life, and she said, you know, how can I stay organized and get everything done without feeling totally overwhelmed? Which, can't we all relate to that? I mean, when you're trying to run a household and your business, you know, sometimes you feel like you don't even have time for yourself, let alone then everything piled on that with trying to run a blog and business. So what I'm going to do in this post is I'm going to give you some tools that will help you stay organized, and then some tips to help you so that you don't feel totally overwhelmed and frazzled, okay? Because you can't be successful in business if your family life is falling apart, and you can't have a happy family if all you do is spend time in business. So hopefully these tips will help fix all of that. All right, one thing for sure that you need is an organizing tool. This is mine, very simple, but I actually got it for doing reviews, called Plan Ahead, and this is my planner. And as you can see, these are some of my months and what I've got written in. This one comes in big blocks like this, and then it also has a section like this, which is huge, so that you can write things. And I love this one especially because in the back it has a place for notes and then passwords. I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget because I have 10 million services, so it shows where my passwords are and things like that. What else? Oh, so what I do with this, like how I stay organized, if I have giveaways or things like that, I make notes in my planner, and then also I use my iPhone. I don't know if you guys have one, but Siri is a killer reminder. I'll just say, it's just like the commercial. I say, Siri, remind me of a meeting, and she does, or Siri, please put this on my calendar, and she does. Also, if you don't have a planner, like I said, go get this first. But you can use other services, which I'll list below, like Evernote. That's where you can collect everything on the internet, like your research, your pictures, and put them all into one place. I don't use that yet, but I've looked at it and it looks amazing. So check out evernote.com, and it's free. And then something else like Together. And again, I'll add these links. These are just tools that you can use to gather everything. All right, so those are just a couple practical things that I use to stay organized. But and list, of course. So I set lists for the day. Like, for example, today my priority is I added a coupon code for my book, and then I noticed that maybe it's not going through. So I have to call PayPal, and I have to check with eJunkie and make sure that the coupon that I've given to my affiliates, and if you're one of them, I'm making sure it works for you, that it works for my book, Get Famous. So that's on my list of things to do. And I just sketch out my day, and I'm filming right now while Matilda is napping. Now, I know that our babies don't always nap, so you can do things in the morning. So let me get into my tips now, since I'm kind of segueing into that. All right. We all have the same 24 hours of every day, so sometimes we say we don't have time, but the reality is that we're either doing things that's wasting our time, or we're not utilizing the time we have properly. So what I do, well, let's take when I was writing my book, I stayed up after 9 o'clock, sometimes till 1 in the morning, and I know that for some of you you're like, there's no way, but I had a young baby, that's the only time I had. So from 9 until 1 or 9 until 2 a.m., I would write my book, and she'd get up at 6. So was I tired for those few weeks? Yeah, I was. But it was worth it because I wrote a book that A, is helping a ton of women, B, is getting killer testimonies, C, replaced my income in an office. Do you think you could be tired for a little while if you could replace your income? I think that you could. So it's just a matter of your priorities. So one thing I would recommend is maybe get up an hour before your kids get their day going, or stay up an hour late after everyone is in bed. If you only did that every day, that's an extra 2 hours. That would give you, and even if you only did it 5 days out of a week, that's 10 hours a week to start writing your book or work on your blog or whatever it is you want to accomplish. That's a lot of time. So start there. And another thing is, and I'm not perfect at this one myself, but do not hop on your email in the morning, because if you check your email, unless your business makes you do that, but you'll start to get lost in other people's messages and what they're asking you to do, and you'll find that one email will take you to another email, and before you know it, you've killed 45 minutes of time or an hour. And that's time you could have spent on your blog or your project. So don't check your email first and wait till later in the day after you've accomplished what you need to get done with your blog or your business or your product, okay? That's one thing. The other thing is, I love Facebook and Twitter, and they do bring business to me, but they are also two of the most major time stealers. Think about how many times you've just scanned Facebook to see what giveaway is there or who's doing what, or checked out your friend's posts. I'm sure if you added it up, it's a lot of time. So don't do any of that either until you've worked on your own project. Save that. I mean, you can blast out a post, but save that until later, all right? Those are time stealers, and they're probably hindering your productivity if you examine that. For me, one thing we've done in our house, we don't have a TV right now. I know, it's shocking, but we don't. And I found that I'm so much more productive because I'm not wasting time just sitting in front of the TV. I'm working on my book, or working on my other projects, or my blog. If you think about how many times you flip through the channels, or maybe while the kids are off playing, you're watching TV instead of working on your blog, that's time, creative time that you're totally losing, that you could have. And what's that TV going to do for you? I mean, I know it's relaxation, but is that TV going to pay a bill? No. Is that TV going to help your kids get through college? Absolutely not. It pretty much is doing nothing for you other than sucking the life and time out of you. And I heard recently someone say that people spend 10 years of their life on television. That's just not cool. So watch that. I'm not against TV, but I'm just saying it takes up time. So that's another way to maybe get a few of those moments or hours back. And like I said, the waking up 1 hour early and staying up 1 hour late will help you. And the biggest thing I think about being overwhelmed, or trying not to be overwhelmed, is don't try to make lists that are so big that you're not going to accomplish them. And Kelly, I'm just talking directly to you right now. If your list is so huge that you're not going to complete it in a day, when that day is over and you don't have that list done, it just leaves you feeling defeated, right? You feel like, oh man, that kind of stunk today. I didn't do anything I was hoping to do. When the reality is you made your list probably unrealistic in a sense, just too much for that day. So I would also encourage you to break down that list into smaller actionable steps that you can accomplish these 5 things in a day, or 6 things, or 3 things. Whatever it is, that you can get that done. And then when you accomplish that, you'll be able to just sit back and be like, yeah, man, I did that. That was great. So that would be my tips for you, or those would be my tips for you. Break things down into smaller, actionable things that you can actually accomplish, so that when you do accomplish them, you're feeling good. For example, you want to work on your blog. So let's just say that your day, okay, you've got, your kids to get ready. And let's just address the kid thing real quick. I'm not for spending time away from our children and just working on our business all the time. I don't think that's cool, because we're never going to get these years back with our kids. But you can have certain times, maybe they could play for a half hour while you work on something for a half hour. That's not a lot of time to be away from them. And then just spend the rest of the day with them. Also, you can delegate tasks for your kids. Maybe some chores around the house that you would do that they're old enough to help with, they could do. Another thing you could do is outsource. If you have some research that needs to be done, you could hire a researcher. And services like Odesk and Elance make it really cheap now, or virtual assistant, for you to hire out somebody to do those things you need. Those are a few tips. I'm sorry, I forgot to add those. But anyway, so let's get back to your projects and things. Don't allow yourself to feel overwhelmed. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just take a breath. Do small actionable steps. So you've got your household and you've got your blog. So in the morning, why don't you try just waking up even a half hour early, and in that half hour you can research other people's blogs, maybe comment on them, and write up your own post. I know you think you can't do that in 30 minutes, but you'd be amazed if you set your mind to it what you can do. And keep the time suckers out, the Facebook, the Twitter, checking your email, television. Keep those out, and then let me know in the comments below what's been going on, and tell me after you've tried this just a few tips, and let me know if you don't feel a lot more productive and a lot less overwhelmed. And most importantly, don't forget to take time for yourself. You know, we live in a busy world with busy things, and we all have dreams and goals that we want to accomplish, but what I do sometimes, I just step right outside my front door and I do nothing. I just sit for like 5 quiet minutes. And I don't answer the phone, I don't check the emails, nothing. I just sit and I'm quiet. And then I find I'm more peaceful when I come back to what I'm doing and more productive. So I hope these tips have served you. Please don't forget to tell me below, you know, what you would like to see in an online course. Now, what this course is going to address, it's going to help you to remove the barriers from things that have been stopping your success. So actually, that's what I really need to know from you. I want to know from you why you think that maybe your business is not doing well, or your blog is not doing as well as you thought, or your newsletter, whatever it is. Tell me what it is that's bothering you, and I'll make sure to address those issues in my course. So I hope you've had a good time checking out these tips, and I hope that you have an awesome day. Thank you so much for stopping by my blog. Let me know how I can help you, and I know that you are amazing. You are a killer woman in business, that you will not be overwhelmed, that you have dreams, goals, and visions. There's no one like you in the world, so get to it, because if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're robbing the world of your fabulousness. All right? So thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check next Wednesday. If you're not on my newsletter, please do that. I might be switching services soon, but I want you to do that, and please read it. If you don't get it, it comes out every Wednesday, and if you don't see it, check your spam box, because I'm probably sitting in there. All right? Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.